The New York Times calls Atlanta the hip-hop center of gravity, while the Daily Beast calls it the new cultural capital of America. That's such high praise for a city whose artists were never considered as real hip-hop until fairly recently. In today's video, I'll be talking about the story of Atlanta and how all rappers went from not being accepted to making Atlanta the Mecca of hip-hop. Hip-hop is an incredible art form that started with African Americans and Latino Americans in the Bronx, New York City, as far back as the 1970s. There are various elements of the hip-hop culture that transcend just rap music, and with the growth of these elements came a new genre of expression that spread out to other communities across the nation. It wasn't until early 1980s that hip-hop entered the Atlantan space, and even then, it did not get a good start. The music was labeled with names like Miami bass or booty music, more of a subgenre that consists of heavy bass, kick drums, fast-paced tempos, and, of course, sexual lyrics. Gradually, though, Southern hip-hop started to find its roots in the previous genres of African American music. These roots were a soft spot that attracted the African American audience, making it easier for the locals to create new interpretations of the sounds. The South then started changing some elements of the hip-hop culture that was introduced to them, and then started establishing a number of local artists, audiences for the new style, distributors, and independent label owners that later became the more recognized hubs of music. At the early stages, most of the music corporations paid more attention to pushing out the rap powerhouses that already existed in California and New York. But thanks to the massive geographic size and omnipresence of the African American populace in Atlanta, the city became a pivotal part of the rap scene. Moving down to the late 80s, the rap scene in Atlanta began to gain some weight with a man named Clive Davis who was looking to find some new talent. He met with Kenneth Babyface Edmonds and Antonio L.A. Reid with the goal of finding and growing the local musicians in the South. By 1989, Babyface and L.A. created the LaFace Records with funding from Clive Davis. They based their headquarters in Atlanta, and it was all the way up from here. The first two notable bands to sign with the label were TLC and Criss Cross. These two swiftly went platinum, which brought more attention to their record label. One big part of their exposure and success was the MTV showcase of TLC's Ain't Too Proud to Beg and Criss Cross's Jump. MTV played these songs as a part of their regular night routine, and it attracted a lot of attention as a result. These early successes for record labels gave the label the ability to sign and promote a massive roster of talented artists who then laid the foundation for the sounds of hip-hop and rap in the South. LaFace signed on Usher, yes, that Usher, Outkast, and Goodie Mob, all of whom you can trace back to the foundation of hip-hop in the South. In the 1990s, the rap scene in Atlanta joined in the already compounding hip-hop popularity, but to stand out in an already crowded space. Atlanta collectives like the Dungeon Family and Organized Noise brought a style known as Dirty South music to the light. This was a term given to the newly found Southern hip-hop scene. And with artists in the LaFace record label mentioned earlier growing into individual success stories, Atlanta earned the label the Motown of the South. Most of the artists in Atlanta began to gain fame in the 90s and were able to prove that good music can come out of places other than the two established music hubs. However, the overtaking process of the two music giants was not immediate or easy either. After Outkast won the Best New Rap Group at the Source Awards in 1995, most of the core rap fans, most of which were from New York, were not excited to see that outsiders were gaining recognition, and they were seriously bitter. When the roaring boos and discontent from the crowd became too much, Andre 3000 got on the microphone and made it clear to the crowd that the Southern rap industry had come to stay.
It was pretty brutal to just be in a room full of people that don't even really care about what you do.
So what's up, Dre? pressure can either bust pipes or create a diamond, and what Andre said when he got on that microphone created a diamond.
But it's like this, though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Everybody was like this on their seats, like, damn. From there, it was a wrap.
For me, it might as well have been the national anthem.
The South got something to say.
See Andre, Big Boy, dudes who were from right here, our area, man, Southside, East Point, and get up there, man, and say the South got something to say. Man, it turned everybody up.
And it finally gave clear cut and incision from New York wannabeism. It was a great thing that they were handled in that way because it finally cut the umbilical cord saying, we don't have to impress you, we don't have to be influenced by you in the same creative way, we're gonna show you.
Outkast, period. Period. That's when it changed. That was the first time that people began to take Southern rap seriously.
Without them, it'll be no you. They made it possible for us. You know what I mean? Without them, we wouldn't be here.
At that moment, not only galvanized us around Outkast, it galvanized us around the city and being fierce about our own identity and not being patsy or second or consumer to anyone. You know, we got on our own hype. So I thank every audience member that booed. Thank you.
From this point onward, everyone could see that the power was gradually moving to another province in the hip-hop world. Moving from the late 90s to the early 2000s, a producer named Lil Jon pushed for a new southern hip-hop subgenre called Cronk, a dance-oriented type of hip-hop music. As for the popular labels like LaFace Records and So Def Recordings, they began to take up some big rappers and R&B groups like Tony Braxton, Sierra, and them Franchise Boys, building Atlanta as a popular city for record labels. The shocking number of success stories that came out of these Atlanta labels attracted many new artists to the environment, which played a pivotal role in the unprecedented achievements of Southern rap. At this time, about 50 to 60% of the singles on hip-hop music charts were made by Southern artists. Most of the Atlanta-based rappers you know today like Gucci Mane, T.I., Soulja Boy, and Ludacris made their debuts in the mid-2000s as the popularity of Atlantan music continued to bloom. In the mid-2000s, another subgenre of hip-hop called trap music was born. This style laid a lot of emphasis on the drug-dealing lifestyle and rose to prominence very quickly. In the same time period, 2004 to be precise, Outkast went on to win 6 Grammys for their album Speaker Box, The Love Below. Soulja Boy also released Crank That, which was a massive success, and Waka Flocka Flame released his 3 critically acclaimed singles, Hard in the Paint, Oh Let's Do It, and No Hands, pushing Atlanta into even greater success. Coming down to the present day, hip-hop and rap music have become the most popular music genre, and with the power of social media, a new wave of Atlanta-based artists continue to top music charts and live in an even larger media spotlight than those that laid the foundation at the beginning. With the hip-hop genre becoming one of the most popular in the world, a lot of the racial boundaries that were associated with rap music have now been broken down. Based on an article by the U.S. Department of State, Atlanta is right at the epicenter of this hip-hop and rap movement after growing from just a few underground artists to now producing some of the biggest A-listers in the industry. Atlanta now houses more than 300 recording studios, 60 music venues, and 30 festivals that showcase and celebrate old, current, and growing musicians in the community. Atlanta rappers consistently top charts all around the world, and the recognition of the city and its capabilities continue to grow also. Veteran artists like T.I. and Young Jeezy laid the foundations for making Atlanta the home of trap music, and now the job has been passed down to the new contemporary phenoms like Migos and Lil Keed to keep it going. Atlanta's history in the hip-hop scene makes for a perfect started from the bottom, now we here kind of story. Hope you learned a thing or two from this video. If you did, let me know by smashing the like button. Do you think Atlanta can continue to keep up this huge reputation? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. We major.